Hello there, welcome back to my channel, The Casa Magana. I am Joanna, and today is part 3 of the Joyful Motherhood series, and we are going to talk about making friends as a mom. This is a topic I am so passionate about. I really do believe that building a village and finding community is one of the things that sets you up for success in motherhood, and I'm going to talk about how to make friends in this day and age, how to be a good friend, and how to build a village. And that's what's going to be covered in this video. So let's dive in. Obviously, you can't just pull friends out of thin air. You have to meet other moms and connect to them in some way. And there are many ways to do this now. There are apps like the Peanut app, which is basically kind of like a dating app, but for moms to find friends. I haven't personally used it, but I've heard good things. There are also more creative ways, like walking up to a mom in public and asking if you could be her friend. And I'm going to admit, I have done this one. I met my friend Callie because she was in a health food store, and I walked in to grab a few things, and she was probably 8 or 9 months pregnant, and I noticed the things she was buying were the things that I buy at the same health food store, and I was behind her in line and thought, I need to meet this gal. She seems really cool. And I didn't. And I remember for months just regretting not just being bold enough to say hey, I noticed you're having a baby. I have kids. I didn't have it planned out, but I remember regretting not reaching out to her. And then a few months later, I was in the same town a few miles down the road going into a grocery store, and I saw a mom breastfeeding in the parking lot. She was just walking into the store, and I thought, wow, what a badass woman, just breastfeeding wherever her baby needs to eat. And it ended up being the same girl. And so I went up to her in the store. I had my Instagram and my number on a card, and I just said, hey, I know this is gonna sound totally weird, but I just noticed you and thought you seemed really cool, and I noticed you have kids. I have kids, and I'm, trying to make some connections in this town. And if you ever want to get together, this is my info, no pressure whatsoever. Walked away. And she's a Christian, and she told me she'd actually been praying that the Lord would bring her some friends. We connected on Instagram and eventually went on to become friends. And that's kind of crazy. I know that not everyone wants to do that, but sometimes it's necessary. My friend had someone come up to her in a coffee shop and say, I'm new to the area. I noticed that you have kids. I have kids. Is there any way we could get together for coffee one day? And that woman is now a part of our homeschool group. And so sometimes you have to be a little creative, a little bit bold, a little bit brave, maybe look a little bit stupid, but you can make friends that way. Another way to make friends is through social media. So the other day, we're part of a buy sell trade group in our area, kind of similar to Facebook Marketplace. Someone posted on there that they were looking for homeschool families in the area to connect with. And a bunch of people that I know chimed in and invited this woman to our group that's a closed group for walks and hikes for homeschool families. And this woman, just by asking on social media, hey, is there anyone in this area that homeschools? I'd love to connect, was able to find our group. So there's a lot of ways that you can get creative in how you meet people. I remember at my most desperate, I actually would call churches locally and see if anyone had any type of mother-based programs like MOPS or Bible studies. And nobody at the time was having them, but I remember just feeling like I really wanted connection locally and I wasn't gonna find it. Eventually, I did find a homeschool group, and it is a huge homeschool group. I just searched groups on Facebook with the keyword homeschool and found one in my area and was able to connect to that. And I've met so many friends through there. So there really are a lot of ways to meet people nowadays. I have met moms at libraries, parks. You're pushing your kid on the swing next to another mom and you get to chatting, and then you talk about things and either you hit it off or you don't. But there's a lot of ways to make friends now. And I will also add, don't be afraid of making friends that don't live in your area, because you can find some really amazing people through social media. I am on Instagram, and I have made so many good friends through Instagram. I have connected on Marco Polo, through texting with people that live in Georgia, South Dakota, Vermont, all sorts of places. And you would not believe how many cool people you can meet just through social media. And I might never meet these women in person, but they impact my life, my parenting, they encourage me, they pray for me. And I'm thankful for the community that I have through social media. And I also did meet one of my very best friends through Instagram, and she only lives an hour away. And we've been friends for like 7 years. And it all happened through Instagram. So it is the time to be bold. It is the time to meet people in unconventional ways. And sometimes you just have to give yourself the push of, I might fail, I might fall, I might not get along with this mom, but my desire for connection for me or for my child is stronger than my fear of looking dumb or being rejected or being embarrassed. Like, you're a grown-up. It's okay. Not everyone has to like you. Not everyone has to say, yes, I want to be your friend. You can have weird experiences. You can fail. Get back up, try again. It's all right. Now, there are some possible deterrents when you are making friends with people. There are things that you really can't get past. You know, if someone parents completely different than you, that might not be the type of person you want to spend a lot of time with, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to be a perfect match for you, and that's fine. But usually you have to hang out with someone 1 or 2 times to really figure that out. And that's just part of making friends. You're not going to be best friends with everyone. You're going to have friends that you can go see a movie with or talk about music with, and a friend that you can go shopping with and do something else, and they're not going to be the same person, and that's okay. It's very rare to find like a perfect kindred spirit bestie, and if you do find them, that is amazing. I've had maybe 2 in my entire life that have been like kindred spirit best friends. I can do anything with them, and that's okay. Not every friend is going to be that way. I'm so grateful that I have friends that I can talk about books with, and then other friends that I can talk about homeschooling with, and then a totally other friend that I can talk about thrifting with or social media. It's just really different. And I have so many different friends that, you know, bring out different sides of who I am and encourage different sides of who I am. And it's not okay for me to just be like, well, I want the gold standard of friend, and if you don't meet that, you're out. You really have to be okay with having a wide variety of friends and not idolizing having that like perfect best friend. I know that that's what like social media and movies and TV shows have always shown, and it's really tempting to want that type of friendship. And if you find it, great, amazing. But I think sometimes we have to adjust our expectations and know that we're not always going to find that person right away, and that we might actually just have a wide variety of friends that fulfill different needs and like emotional connections through who they are, and knowing that they can be who they are, you can be who you are, and you're not going to be absolute besties. I hope that makes sense. Biggest pieces of advice that I give people is do not wait for the invitation. Be the one to invite people over. I think this is one of the most important things about making friends, is you have to be the one to invite first. Whether that's to go get coffee or go to the library or have someone in your home, you really have to be the one to extend the invitation. You cannot wait around hoping that someone's going to invite you over. It's really kind of a lost part of our culture right now to host people and to have someone over for coffee and actually invite someone into your home. So if you want that type of culture, you really have to be the one to create it. I would say that you really can't expect people to know how to be a village. So you kind of have to start that. You have to be the one that reaches out to the mom that just had a baby and say, hey, can I bring you food? You have to be the one that says, hey, I have hand-me-down clothes. Does anybody need them? You kind of have to be the one to start that, because it's not something that people just know how to do. And you really have to be willing to do that without getting anything in return. Obviously, it's ideal if you can build a village where everybody takes care of each other and knows how to pitch in and love on each other and be a safe place. But not everybody is going to know how to do that. Not everybody is going to want to do that. So I would really encourage you, if you are wanting to build a community, it has to start with you. And you're probably going to give a lot more than you take, but it's always worth it. I will also add, if you are making friends and building connections and you are a believer in Jesus, you're a Christian, follow the Holy Spirit's lead. I am not kidding. When I went up to my friend Callie, I was praying that it was the Lord, and it totally ended up being a God encounter for both of us that we met. And I have had days where a mom is just on my mind. So I make a latte and I drive it to her house. I'm not kidding. I have just gone out of my way to be like, you're on my mind. You might be going through a hard time. I don't know. I'm going to bring you a coffee, and just love on the people and trust the Holy Spirit leading you. Be loving, be like Jesus. You won't regret it. This is my first time filming since my whole family got sick and had hand, foot, and mouth disease, and we were out. So I feel like this is my first time where I've tried to sit down and actually collect my thoughts to make a video. And it might have been a little scrambled, but hopefully you understand the heart of this video, which is to really go for it and try to make friends and try to build a community. And that if you want to be a part of that community, you have to be the one to facilitate and build it. And to do that with no expectations on the end of other people being that back for you. So I hope this video made sense. If not, I'm gonna blame mom brain and brain fog and lack of sleep. But hopefully this video is encouraging to someone, and hopefully it was comprehensive enough to not leave you feeling really confused. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will have another part of the Joyful Motherhood series coming soon, so subscribe if you are interested in seeing that. And that is all from me for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.